Hey, what's up? This is another episode of Watching Strappin, and these are not reviews. They're just quick wristwatch check of the day, whenever I can, and with a strap of choice. Usually something different I haven't tried before. And this is actually take two. I did one earlier, but the hands were a little bit too close together, and I don't like that. So I'm trying it again at the end of my workday before I have to head out. So real quickly, this is the in case you didn't know, this is the Serica 5303. It's really cool. Vintage inspired dive watch, I guess, but it's very original, I think, in its execution. It's got definitely some design cues from I think a couple of sources, but overall, it's still very much its own thing. I can't say I've seen anything really just like this, some elements certainly, but I don't know. I think overall it's very cool. Sorry about the exposure. I'm trying to dial this in. Today I am on the Haveston. I should have looked it up before I did the video, but it's the M something something something. It's like 1943 or something along those lines. It'll be in the description. But it's actually a design that they've had for a while. It's one of the original ones that I think they started out with, next to the one that I also showed before, which was the Invasion. It had like these, it's like an olive drab with these like a black center stripe with, I think, a white stripe on either side. Or actually, was it the other way around? White with center stripe with black on either side. Yeah, I think it's black with the two white stripes on either side. Anyways, this is another design, but they've actually made a couple of versions of this. I've owned basically, I think, all of them at some point. Like the original was actually more of a NATO strap, the traditional NATO strap, so there's a second layer underneath. And the coloring was different. Basically, they've always had this kind of two-tone where the edges were one color and then the center part, the main bulk of the center part, as you see, is another color. And I think they had a couple of versions. Some were more green and some had a little bit more of a brownish tone. And I think at one point they had both options. I forget, but after the first style that came out with, which was more of a, again, double layered NATO style, they went basically all to single layer, which is better, I think. And this is one of them, and this is actually, which they call their A2, I guess. Most of the A2s are all single pass, and this is actually the latest version. I'm not sure if they changed the tones of the colors again. It's kind of more of a khaki brown or olive in the center, and then it's definitely more green on the edges. But either way, I think it's a cool colorway that's kind of harkens back to, I think they said it was like field gear, that I believe like the Allied forces, if not the U.S. forces, were using, and during that time. And so I think it's got that nice vintage kind of tone. And this actually, I don't know if they offer it without this now, but the latest version is called the Enhance, which has this kind of brown, well, most of the enhancements will have like this kind of leather strip that's basically reinforces the holes, for one thing. I don't think it's genuine leather because this thing's meant to be like out in the field and stuff, and it's going to get wet. So if it was really leather, I think it'd probably ruin pretty fast. But anyways, and then also at this end here, the end of this used to be just the same material. Also, it didn't have it wasn't like kind of wrapped up neatly this, but now it's got this leather like edge or end tip here that's wrapped around, so I think I'll keep that end nice and clean. That's probably one area that will fray a lot after a while, and they show this on their I think care instructions, but sometimes NATOs, they tend to fray up, and you just take like a lighter or something and kind of just singe all that extra fuzziness off, and it'll clean itself up. But I think this will help keep it cleaner and neater in the long term. And the end will definitely get a lot of wear because you push it through the keepers all the time, and then once it's out here, it'll tend to just make contact and brush up against things more often than not, right? So I think it's a good change. It's an added detail, and it looks a little bit nicer, I think, because of that. And I think it goes with this kind of World War II kind of gear theme. But anyways, before I get too far on, yeah, this, I think, is a cool combination. And you know, with this particular style and colorway, I think it takes what this would normally look as like as a dive watch of some sorts, makes it actually almost a little bit more like a field watch, I think, and which is pretty cool. Just gives it a different vibe, right? If it was on a black rubber strap, or it's stock mesh bracelet, or if you can adapt another kind of bracelet to it, definitely keeps in with that sporty dive look. But this kind of just brings it into a more of a field look, at least for me it does, and that's cool. I think it works pretty nicely, and this is another option that's fun to explore. Anyways, that's about it. Gotta get going, so I will catch you in the next. Thanks for watching, and peace later.